My name is Praise. So in about 7 something, me and my sister went to get our power bank. Then on our way back, we were already at our gate. Then we were knocking. Then all of a sudden, so the armed men just surrounded us. Me, my sister, and one other lady that was passing by. So we were like 4 in numbers, but the fourth girl rather, she ran away. So when they surrounded us, then they told us to move. Then we were going, and my phone was on, like the torchlight was on since I was using it to walk to my house. Then they collected my own phone first. Then while going, I saw some certain people in their compound. Then I just had to wave like help. So they shot their gun. So everybody ran. So they took us to this very place. That's where they asked questions of what our parents are doing and all of that. Then they collected my sister's phone. Still, they never knew that our third party was still with her phone because she hid her phone somewhere so they couldn't find it. So when they wanted to search her, she gave me the phone. Then I had to hide the phone inside the bush. Then after that, they took us to their first hideout where they had their pots, waters, and everything. We got there around 12 something, going to 1. Then when everybody slept, around 3 again, we woke up and started walking a long mile to their second hideout. That's when they started asking us, who do you want to call? Then from there, I told them I have a uncle that I want to call. Meanwhile, that uncle in question was a soldier friend of mine. He's not my uncle. So I just told them I want to call my uncle. Then when I called my uncle, I was speaking to my uncle. Then I didn't use English. So when I was speaking to my uncle, but my uncle didn't understand. He said, he has to give the phone to his second, which understands what I'm saying. So while talking to the second, they were angry that I wasn't speaking English. So they hit me. I was like, my uncle does not understand English. Then I said, okay. So while communicating, the person at the other end now told us what to do, we set the phone on the GPS and sent the location to them. So that was how they were able to find us this morning. Thank you.
At around after 7 to 8, I and my friend went to get something. We were walking back home. Then we saw 4 gunmen, and I was surprised. Like I was even thinking it was the vigilantes, like they were trying to block us. I'm like, why are we walking by this time of the night? Unknown to me that they were kidnappers. Then my friend, luckily for her, she ran away. I was trying to escape too, but I couldn't. So I just went along with them. We got to front of my compound. I was still trying to escape, but if I move, they're going to shoot me. So we're trying to walk through the bush at the back of our street. Then we saw some of our other neighbor at the next compound, we're trying to wave along the line. One of them fired the bullet and it hit the boy. Then they took us to the bush. We had to climb, and luckily for me, I had to quickly hid my phone between my tights so they wouldn't notice. So we walked with them. Then we got to a place. They started asking us questions about what our parents were doing. So I had to follow up with them, and they're okay. They took a yam and we went to their first hideout. I tried to sent the first location to my friend to send it across people that would come and help us. Then I noticed that at that period I heard gunshot from afar, but they couldn't get the other location, so I just stayed. Then we slept there. After sleeping there, they took us to around 3 a.m. They took us to another location. We tried using my phone again to send the message across to our parents that okay, this is what we told them. So it should, in case they are calling them to ask them for ransom, this is what they're going to say. So we're just playing along from there, trying to get network to the location. Then from there we went to the third hideout. They were nobody's going to come get us here. That we were in the midst of animals. That if we do anyhow, they're going to kill us, and animals are going to feed on our dead bodies. So later in the evening, we had to play along and started acting fast. We started sending locations to the soldier people that came to rescue us alongside with the police. Then we prayed. Then luckily for us this morning, we were rescued. Thank you. She has this uncle that she's going to call. They were asking for 20 million each. from every person. So like she had someone that she's going to call. So he spoke to the kidnapper, and he was like, oh, say money no day, this and that. So he was a little bit calm. He was like, okay, it's going to reduce it to 50 million, that everybody's going to share equally. That okay, no problem, that we're going to get back to them. I called my family, she called her family, and Praise also called her family. But no, unknown to them that we were a little bit smarter than them, if I could use the word. And that's how we got rescued, without paying any ransom. Thank you.
Press briefing by the Police Public Relations Officer, Edo State Command, on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, CP Monday Agbonika, FDC, on the rescue of 3 kidnapped Ambrose Ali University students. Gentlemen of the press, good afternoon, and thank you for honoring our invitation. I am here on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, Edo State Command, CP Monday Agbonika, FDC, to brief you on the circumstances surrounding the kidnapping of some students of Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, and the successful rescue operation carried out by security operatives. On Sunday, 12th July 2026, at about 9 p.m., the Divisional Police Officer, Irekben Division, received a distress report that armed men suspected to be kidnappers had attacked at Ujemen GT Extension, Ekboma. According to findings, following a distress scream outside a hostel gate in Ekboma, one Peter Ekben Adolo, a 24-year-old 300 level student of Ambrose Ali University, attempted to open the gate to ascertain the situation. In the process, he was shot in the abdomen by one of the armed assailants. He was rushed to Eguaven Hospital, Ekboma, where he was unfortunately confirmed dead by the doctor on duty. The attackers also abducted Miss Favor Okoreje, a 21-year-old 100-level student of Ambrose Ali University, along with 2 other students before escaping into the nearby bush. Upon receipt of the report, the Commissioner of Police immediately ordered for the deployment of tactical teams and nearby police divisions, including Ekboma Division, who were detailed to join others in a joint rescue mission in collaboration with the Nigerian Army, the Edo State Security Corps, ESSC, the local hunters as well. The team subsequently conducted coordinated bush combing and intelligence-led operations aimed at rescuing the hostages on hot and apprehending the perpetrators. I am pleased to inform you that those sustained efforts paid off in the early hours of today, 14th July 2026, at about 6 a.m., when the joint security team located the kidnappers' hideout in Era Forest and engaged the criminals in a fierce gun battle. The superior tactical response of the security operatives forced the kidnappers to abandon their captives and flee. During the operation, the 3 kidnapped Ambrose Ali University students were successfully rescued, alive, and rushed to the hospital for medical attention. The operation also led to the recovery of 3 AK-47 rifles with magazines and 36 rounds of live ammunition. One suspected kidnapper was neutralized, while another was apprehended with serious gunshot injuries. Operations are ongoing to apprehend the fleeing suspects, while the command is pleased with the successful rescue of the abducted students. The remains deeply saddened by the unfortunate death of Peter Ekben Adolo. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, officers and men of Edo State Police Command, we extend its heartfelt condolences to the family and management of Ambrose Ali University, his fellow students, and all those affected by this tragic incident. The Commissioner of Police commends the bravery, professionalism, and resilience of the operatives of Edo State Police Command, the Nigerian Army, the Edo State Security Corps, and the local hunters whose collective efforts made this successful operation possible. CP Agbonika also appreciates the continued support of the Edo State government and members of the public whose timely and credible information remains invaluable in the fight against crime. The Edo State Police Command wishes to reassure residents and operations against kidnappers and other violent crimes will continue with renewed intensity as the command remains firm in its resolve to ensuring that every person involved in this heinous crime is arrested, prosecuted in accordance with the law. Thank you.